Are you the type of athlete that's scared of being scared? That deep down inside, you know you have fears holding you back and you don't want to go through life, go through your sporting career unfulfilled or underachieving? Well, in this video, I'm going to unleash and unlock the 3 biggest fears that typically we deal with and how to solve those fears and overcome those fears so you don't end up underachieving, unfulfilled, or going unrewarded for your hard work. Let's go. Fear is a real thing. You're going to feel fear. Let's not avoid or assume that we can just overcome all fear for the rest of our life and never be scared of anything, because it's untrue. And if you try to focus all of your effort and intention and energy on trying to not feel fear, you're going to end up frustrated that, why can't I get over this hump? And not understanding that fear is a real thing in our hearts because sin has entered the world. And we're going to feel fear, but God has more for you. God has more for me. God has more for us if we would step into His word and truly what He says about overcoming these fears. So the first fear, and probably the most strongest fear for most young athletes, whether you're in middle school, high school, college, or even professional, is the fear of other people's opinions. Now, this is a super big fear for a lot of us because we seek relationship and we seek making other people proud, our parents proud, our coaches proud, our friends looking up to us. Maybe you have a girlfriend, maybe you have a boyfriend, making them proud. We want to make people feel proud. We want to do things with a sense of satisfaction, like we're doing right by them. We want to hear praise from other people. We want to feel accepted in crowds. You want to feel accepted in your friends group. But here's the thing. If you guys place your stock or your worth in what other people are saying about you, you will never be able to feel happiness or peace or joy or contentment in your life. It's not even just about sport. It's about just your own personal life or even after college. You cannot base your worth, you cannot base your strength, you cannot base if you're doing well or not on other people's opinions. Galatians chapter 1 verse 10 says, "For am I now seeking the approval of man or of God? Or am I trying to please man? If I were still trying to please man, I would not be a servant of God." So here's the question I ask for you. Are you trying to please God? Or are you trying to please mom? Are you trying to please God? Or are you trying to please dad? Are you trying to please God? Or are you trying to please your coach? See, there's nothing wrong with being respectful and doing things to make people proud, but are you doing with the intention of pleasing them or pleasing God? Now, here's the truth of the matter. I played football at a very high level. I trained hard. I wanted to do well, but I never did it in order to try to make my dad proud. Even though my dad was a pretty strong-willed guy and pushed us hard, sometimes a little too hard, I had so much belief in myself and what God has called me to that I never performed at a level to make my dad proud. I always did it to make God proud. Even those hard car rides home when I didn't perform at my highest level and my dad's chirping me in my ear right after a bad game and it's the last thing I want to hear, I was able to suck it up and deal with it because I'm like, well, Dad, I'm not doing it to please you. I'm not doing it to make you proud. I'm doing this because I feel like I was called to do this. See, what you guys have to understand is you don't want to perform at a level to please mom, dad, or coach. It's not about even their opinions. See, now your brain might be like, well, then why do I do it? You're doing it because God has given you gifts, skills, and abilities to use it to forge characteristics inside of you, diligence, commitment, hard work, communication, leadership, that you can go and take on into life and use it to forge these skills and abilities in yourself to take into your highest calling and highest purpose after sport. Because you can't fear the opinions of other people, because if you're putting stock in what mom or dad says or coach says, or maybe you hesitate because you're afraid of messing up, because you're afraid of what dad might say after or mom might say after, what your coach is gonna scold you in the middle of practice or a game, or your friends are gonna, look at him, like he's over here, he's a clown. You're not doing it to please them. You're not doing anything. You're not training. You're not practicing hard to please them. You're doing it to please God, because it's a form of worship and thankfulness that you're willing to put in extra work and take risks because you have faith in Him. See, it even comes down to the extra work that you guys are putting in or not putting in. See, all the time when I played high school, I played quarterback in high school, and I was one of the only kids in my high school that actually wanted to go on and play college and potentially play pro. So I was one of the only kids where all year round I was putting in extra work. And I would remember during the basketball season, the coach used to always come up to me and say, Derek, we want you to play basketball. Like, you're one of the top athletes in this school. We want you to come play basketball. Like take a break from football, whatever, come do your thing. And I would always struggle, like, should I play basketball or should I run track so I can have extra time to train for football? I gotta go run track and I gotta take some extra time to play football. Well, what I would do is even during the basketball games, it's a small town, so everybody's coming to these games, right? All the parents, a lot of kids in the school would be at these games, and I would be in the back room court because our main basketball court was in the front, and then we had doors, and there was like a back room basketball court. But I would always be in the back room basketball court by myself, playing quarterback, working on my 3-step drop, working on my 5-step drop, throwing at tape marks I would put on the wall, throwing into the trash can, throwing into the basketball hoop, working on my accuracy. Meanwhile, other kids are coming in, looking in the doors because the basketball game, right, varsity basketball game's going on, and other kids are looking in the doors in the back room like, oh, look at him, oh, he's throwing at the wall, oh, making fun of me, bullying me, calling me all types of names, clowning me on social media, stuff like that. I'm not doing it to please y'all. I'm not doing it to please anybody but God. I'm doing it to be diligent in my pursuit of God's highest calling for me. So I don't care if you guys are going to heckle me. I don't care if my peers are going to talk down on me. I don't care your words don't have weight and strength because I know what God says. So some of you guys need to step up and step out more, and you're too afraid because, well, what are the upperclassmen going to think if I'm trying to practice? They're going to think I'm doing this. They're going to think I'm doing that. I'm not doing it to please y'all. I'm doing it to please God. So in order to overcome and get over this fear of other people's opinions of you, you have to place more stock and worth at what God says about you and who he's called you to be, and be courageous in the calling and not succumb to the opinions. Now, this next fear is probably something that you've never even heard of or never even thought about before. And it's completely counterintuitive, meaning it's completely a different way of thinking than you've ever thought before. And it's not the fear of failure. See, a lot of athletes, a lot of high performers have a fear of success. See, I've coached hundreds of athletes over the last 14 years plus, and I've seen this time and again where athletes will self-sabotage their success because they fear the expectations, they fear the pressure that would come with succeeding at a highest level. So what they do is they kind of hold back, they kind of ease up, they kind of self-sabotage themselves in a way and don't go all in because they're afraid that if they were to achieve the level of success that they dream about, that they would have to maintain those expectations, and they're afraid of having to maintain those expectations because they don't know or they don't trust that they would actually be able to handle it. So what they do is they ease up, they kind of go 90% but don't go 100%. They don't work super duper hard. They don't go all in on their training. They don't go all in on their nutrition because they don't know who they would become if they were to achieve that level of success. And they think that it would break them. The pressure would be too strong for them to handle. They wouldn't be able to handle the future of what's to come if they were to achieve that level of success. So they self-sabotage. Now, in order to get over this, in order to overcome this fear, we have to go to Philippians. It says here, brothers, I do not consider that I have made it my own. But one thing I do, forgetting what lies behind and straining forward to what lies ahead, I press on toward the goal for the prize of the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. What we must do and be diligent in doing and be intentional in doing is every single day, every single success, every single win, every single loss, every single practice, every single training, we forget what lies behind and we continue straining towards and forward what lies ahead. See, this journey that we're on is not in trying to achieve a finish line. This journey that you're on isn't just going that Division I scholarship. That journey that you're on isn't just making that team. That journey that you're on isn't just making it pro. The journey that you are on is discovering the calling that God has over your life and the creation and characteristics that he's put inside of you. So every win, every challenge, every obstacle, every good thing that happens, every new pedestal, new medal that comes, I forget that and I move forward to what's coming towards me and moving forward what lies ahead of me. See, I will have what's called a 24-hour rule. And what the 24-hour rule is I have 24 hours, whether it's a big win or big loss, to cry about it and feel upset about it, or I have 24 hours to celebrate it and congratulate and let's go and be proud. And then it's right back to, I got to press forward. I got to strain forward to what lies ahead. I got to press on towards the goal. I have to keep growing. I have to keep getting better. It's not about the successes or the fame or I've won this many matches or I've got all these gold medals. So now all these coaches and my teammates and my parents expect me to always be great. No, it's like, listen, every single day I got to humble myself and I'm good enough today and I need to continue to work hard and work forward to being great tomorrow. See, pressure is a privilege. But when you have the wrong mindset, pressure becomes a poison that destroys your passion, it destroys your purpose, and it'll destroy your performance. If you don't reframe pressure into being a privilege, why is it a privilege? Because pressure tells you that you're in the tension between straining forward to what God's highest calling you towards and breaking away from the enemy and the devil that wants to pull you down and keep you stuck and comfortable, or even shower you with good things that make you feel good for a moment, but ends up being temporary fulfillment and being unfulfilled for the rest of your life. So pressure is a privilege because it's showing you that you're forging yourself, you're growing yourself, right? Like iron and steel is forged in the fire. Like in order for you guys to get stronger, you have to press on and not fear the success or fear the pressure or fear the stress, because God is building something inside of you and has created you to be more than a conqueror. So don't let the fear of success hold you back or hold you down. And the last fear, again, is not the fear of failure, but is the fear of rejection. Now, this is a big one because rejection has to deal with our emotions. When we feel rejected by somebody else, we have feelings like, I'm not good enough. I wasn't meant for that. I'll never be good enough for that. Oh, that person doesn't love me. Oh, like I don't know why I set these big goals. I don't know why I try hard because I just keep failing. I just keep getting down. I don't know why I keep waking up early to go hit that extra workout. I don't know why I keep trying to please this person or do that thing. It's because you're putting your stock and your worth and your value into what the world thinks of you and the world's way of doing things. See, the way that we're taught in school is you got to study hard and get the A. If you don't get the A, you didn't do good enough. You get a C, you get a D, you didn't do good enough. You're not good enough. You got to accomplish this task, get this degree. So that way, this degree for this college institution tells you that now you're good enough because you have this degree. See, the world has everything completely backwards and upside down and left and right. We have to think in the way God thinks, and not the way in the world thinks. See, the way that God thinks is a no might not be, you're not good enough. A no might be, hey, I'm working in you to get stronger for the next opportunity that's going to be even better. A no might not mean no. A no might mean from God, not yet. Not yet, because I got to prepare in you some things, some characteristics and some patience in you so that way when you do achieve the goal, you're ready and you're prepared for the goal. See, God is never going to set us up for failure. God is never going to allow us to put ourselves in positions that would ultimately lead to being in failure and out of his will. See, God is always going to keep us in his will. So a no from that coach, a no from that scholarship, a no from playing in that game that day. Maybe you didn't play, maybe you got benched. A no isn't a no and that you're not good enough. A no might be not yet. Not now. There's more. I got to work in some things in you. I got to work some discipline in you. This is causing you to refine yourself. This is causing you. I got to give you a little bit of this stress so you grow yourself. See, the only times we grow in life is when our back is up against the wall and we're uncomfortable. No one grows in comfort. No one's consistently growing when they're always winning. The quickest time to refine our mindset is when things aren't going great in our life. So the no, the rejection, the getting benched from the team, the injury might not mean that you're not made out, you're not cut out, you're not good enough. It might mean I got to work a different plan in you because God's plan and God's will over your life is always going to be perfect. See, when I was a senior in high school, the second week of my senior year, I was getting recruited by Holy Cross, Boston College, Villanova, Tennessee, Lafayette, Bucknell, Hobart, a bunch of schools I was getting recruited by. In the second week of my senior year, I was in the best shape of my life. I was working my butt off all year. I was 2-3 workouts a day. I was hitting hills in this middle of summer. I was locking in my nutrition. I was going so crazy that some nights I would wake myself up at 2 o'clock in the morning to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich and one of those little Ensure protein drinks because I was trying to gain weight. I was obsessed over trying to be my best. In the second week of my senior year, I snapped my ankle, break my ankle. All the recruiting gone, all the hype gone, the newspaper articles gone. all the, the great things. Like we were playing the first 3 games of my senior year. Again, I played football, I played quarterback. The first 3 years of my senior year, I'm like, yo, these are like the lowest teams in our conference. I'm about to throw like 5 touchdowns a game. I'm about to go crazy on these teams. It's weather's good. All that gone. Break my ankle. Go to the doctor's office, get the x-ray. Yep, clean break, you're done for the year. I'm like, okay, 24-hour rule. I was sad for 24 hours. I had a boot up to my knee. I was in so much pain physically. I was in pain mentally. I'm like, what am I going to do? This is it. 24 hours. The next day I woke up and I said, this isn't a no. This is a not yet. This isn't a no. This is God's like, I got to humble you a little bit, Derek, because you think that this is all you're doing. That you think that's your training. You think it was all your personal training. You think it was all your sacrifice. See, I was so caught up and obsessed over me and everything that I could do myself that God was like, yeah, let me show you real quick that you're not in control. I'm in control. And so what did I do? The first thing I did, I told my dad, I go, we need to go get prayer over my ankle. I need to submit myself. I need to, God, I don't know what's going on. I'm still not even sure about this whole thing. I'm just trying to get to know you more. I don't know what the plan is, God, but I trust you, God. If you help me get through this, God, like I believe in you. Man, me and God went on a journey for it together, a real intimate journey in that period of time, man. I grew closer to God through it, and that's exactly why God was allowing that to happen. See, he doesn't necessarily make those things happen, but he allows them to happen, and he'll use it for his perfect will. See, all things will work together for good for those that love him. All things. So that injury, that bench, that whatever it is you're experiencing rejection, it will always work perfectly. Perfectly. Not it'll work okay. It'll work perfectly. It'll work perfectly in his plan. See, he says here in Romans chapter 8, verse 30 to 31, and those whom he predestined, he also called. And those whom he called, he also justified. And those whom he justified, he also glorified. What then shall we say to these things? If God is for us, who can be against us? If he's predestined you, called you, justified you, glorified you, if he's done all these things, then who are we to fear rejection? Who are we to fear that injury? Who are we to fear getting benched? Who are we to fear other people's opinions? Who are we to fear failure, fear success? Who are you or I to fear something that might be happening in our life that we feel rejection and not still think that we're called or predestined for the desires that he's put on your heart? See, after my injury, I went harder. Even though I couldn't even use my right leg, I was in the gym working my left leg. I was in the gym bench pressing. I was on the field working on my knees, working on my throwing motion. I was going through the playbook. I was still helping coach and lead my team because I was a captain. I was still out there getting to it and going to the gym every single day. See, when I owned my gym, so many parents would be like, oh, so-and-so got hurt. We got to cancel our membership. I'm like, cancel a membership? Like, are they living and breathing? Get them in the gym. Get them in the gym. Let's go. Let's work. Like, we can find a way. I remember having kids in full casts and us doing manual resistance so they could still work on their upper body strength. Like, find a way. Find a way. Don't let the injury or the bench or anything like that hold you down or hold you back. Find a way because you're predestined and called. You're predestined and called. So what ended up happening is I went harder, and through the grace of God, what was supposed to be me not playing for the rest of the year ended up me coming back for the last 3 games. And see, there was this whole miraculous healing that took place. And I remember coming back to my coach. I said, "Hey, I'm clear. Let's go." They told me it's probably not. They don't advise it, but I'm not gonna break it again. So let's roll. And I remember triple taping my ankle, tape directly on the ankle, an ankle brace, tape on the ankle brace, cleat on, tape around the cleat. I basically had this club foot because I was still getting to it. In the first game back, I threw 3 touchdowns and forced a fumble to beat this team that we normally lose to every single year. That was a dominant team in our conference, and we beat them by 2 points, 23-21 through 3 touchdowns. And I think we had a safety too, or something like that, or maybe a field goal. I can't remember, but I remember we won 23-21 or 24-21, whatever. We won. I threw 3 touchdowns and forced a fumble my first game back after that injury. Why? Because I never lost hope in the calling that God had for me. I didn't take the rejection of me breaking my ankle as, that's it. I'm not meant to play college football. That's it. I'm meant to just sit down and just, I guess this isn't for me. No, I'm like, God, you put this desire in my heart. I know this is for me. I'm going to go in. And if it still doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But I'm going to make sure I can control my controllables. So what do you have to control? What do you guys have to get over? What fears do you need to overcome and implement what I'm talking about here and actually go execute on these things? What's holding you down and holding you back? You have to dig deeper into the root system. You have to dig deeper down below what you might be seeing or experiencing right now and go all in because you trust God and know that He's predestined and called you for that. So this video is helpful and you guys want help working on these things, working through these things, then I want to invite you to our Faith-Filled Athlete Challenge. See, what this challenge is it's a 5-day live coaching experience where I can come in and coach you guys live on a Zoom call. I'm going to give you guys resources, worksheets, training plans that we're actually going to work through every single day and on your own. And live, you can ask me questions and we can work together live. So if you want more information on this challenge, you got to go to faithfilledathlete.com/challenge, which will be here in the video in the description below, and inquire and go through and read and watch the videos. And if you guys want to break through and break out of some of these limitations holding you back, that's all faith founded and spiritually grounded, then sign up for the next challenge. We do it every single month. It's going to be an amazing time. We're bringing the heat. I'm bringing the energy. You better come in ready to grow. We're going to pray together. We're going to dig in the word together. We're going to work together so you guys can break free and break out some of these limitations that the devil wants to hold you down in. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I pray for you guys. I'll see you guys in the next video.